professional wrestling.
Imagine you are watching a superhero movie or an action movie, but also disguise it as a sport, and you get professional wrestling. There is truly nothing quite like it. Sure, it's fake, there's a predetermined outcome, and if you want to get very nitpicky, there are moments where the police should be called, but not even security shows up. But these are half-naked, muscular men and women beating the shit out of each other and taking insane bumps just for our entertainment.
In fact, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know if I've really said this before, but while most of my childhood was video games, just before I started playing video games, my childhood was professional wrestling. Like, I was a fanatic. I mean, seriously, look at all the belts I had growing up, and I mean, like, I still have them now. I think you can tell what era I grew up watching.
And when I say wrestling from my childhood, I mean WWE. Because at the time, that was really all that was readily available, and it's definitely the biggest wrestling promotion. And with the Royal Rumble being fresh in many minds, and seeing a lot more talk about it than I usually do, or at least when it happened, I thought, why not talk about some WWE games?
Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys were expecting me to cover some of the NES or SNES WWF games, but we already know about those, you know? I want to dig into some of the weird and obscure shit. Also, this is specifically WWE and WWF. So if you're expecting games from WCW, ECW, TNA, New Japan, if you want, I can cover those in another episode. Just for you. But first, let's lay the smackdown on these games, starting with WWF In Your House for the PS1.
What is this? What is this box art? A white background with Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, and Vader looking like they were printed on here out of a printer that is low on ink?
I haven't even played the game yet, so let's play the game.
Huh, cool intro. I should probably move away from this, though, before the video gets claimed. Okay, so this is the roster. We got Shawn Heartbreak Kid Michaels, the Vader, Bret the Hitman Hart, The Undertaker, Rip, and Hunter HH. And the other wrestlers, but who cares about them? Except a lot of people. Okay, selected The Undertaker, who... Look, I know he's supposed to be the dead man, but I have no idea what the fuck is going on with him over there. I selected WWF season, whatever that means.
Tonight, in the squared circle.
Oh wow, look, they got Vince McMahon as the announcer. In case you guys somehow don't know, Vince McMahon is the owner of WWE and did nothing else worth of note.
Oh, that's no good. Okay, to be real with you guys for just 1 second, I'm playing this game through perfectly legal means, but this version of the game, I guess, just looks like this. Yeah. As for the game itself, for a wrestling game, it is very weird. This is more like a one-on-one fighting game with a health bar that seems to work more like the ones in fighting games. There are many combos you can pull off, and there are rounds, like round 1, round 2, but this makes WWF In Your House feel more like Mortal Kombat than a WWF game. Looking at other people's not-so-glitchy gameplay, I can say it looks serviceable, but what are these arenas? Why do some of them look like the inside of a house?
Oh, I see. By WWF In Your House. Oh, they thought that meant inside of an actual house. You know, I mean, I can't really fault them for that, you know. It is called In Your House. You know, In Your House is like a series of pay-per-views, but it makes sense that it would take place inside of an actual house. You know, if only they watched at all.
Also, I'd just like to point out that to add on to the feeling of this being a fighting game as opposed to a wrestling game, each wrestler either uses weapons or superhuman abilities. For example, The Undertaker can summon ghosts, and Triple H uses a stick?
Trips, buddy, I think that's a DQ.
Okay, next up, WWE Survivor Series for the Game Boy Advance. Let's play it.
don't know if I should be excited or confused.
Huh. Single play or multiplayer?
You too cool for words like single player and multiplayer?
So next we get greeted by Vince McMahon looking like a Stitch face. Welcome to the WWE. I am Vince.
No, I'm not doing that.
I'll bet you want to make a name for yourself and go down in WWE history. Okay, I'm not reading all this, but basically Vince McMahon talks to you and tells you to choose a brand, Raw or SmackDown. I selected SmackDown because I felt like it. Selected John Cena because I felt like it. And now Paul Heyman talks to me because he felt like it. And now I have a match against Rob Van Dam because I guess RVD felt like it.
Huh, not gonna lie. I don't hate the renditions.
This game is kinda rough. I wouldn't really say there is anything too bad about this game, but it doesn't control particularly well. It just feels clunky and weird, and part of that might have to do with the fact that this is a GBA game that requires much more of a control scheme. So why is this on the GBA? This feels like a game for the PS2 or Xbox squeezed onto the GBA. What else can I say? I lost, and now John Cena's popularity grade is an E.
While we're on the subject of WWE, or in this new case, WWF, games on the Game Boy line of systems, let's go backwards to the Game Boy Color with WWF Betrayal.
WWF Betrayal. Epic name. Select a superstar, giving me the option between The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Undertaker, and Triple H.
What kind of roster is this? I mean, don't get me wrong, these are probably the four most popular wrestlers at the time, but it's like, what? Really? Just 4? Also, why am I selecting the wrestler before I selected anything else? Shouldn't I select, like, the match type and all that stuff? Weird.
Anyways, I'm gonna select Stone Cold Steve Austin because I feel like he'll open up a whole can of whoop-ass on me if I don't. It looks like Austin, period, really has Triple H on the ropes.
Let me just take a look at that.
So, I guess this is Triple H, looking like if Hulk Hogan fused with an Oompa Loompa, but nevertheless, this is Triple H. He is over here. The ropes are over here.
What do you mean you got him on the ropes?
We may have ourselves a new heavyweight champion.
Wait, really? Wow, it sounds like this match is very intense. Got me wondering, if it is so intense, how come they're just standing there? That did not just happen.
The Rock says that Steve Austin should know his role. Damn, got him. That's what happens when you play the game.
Hey, speaking of playing the game, can I play the game?
Wait, I'm playing?
So this is a wrestling game that is not a wrestling game, but instead a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up with a wrestling setting. What the can I, like, swanton bomb off of a very high height onto a pot of scalding water? Please.
It doesn't matter. I'm now confronted by Vince McMahon, go away, who tells me that his daughter Stephanie has been kidnapped and says I get a free title shot if I rescue her.
So let me get this straight. This is a poor man's version of Streets of Rage, with what is essentially the plot of Super Mario Brothers with wrestlers. Who is this game for?
Okay, so now for the actual game itself. It's a game. I mean, like, yeah. I mean, what do you think? There's more? No, you think there's more than just beating up referees? I mean, like, it's just fucking a WWF Betrayal. I don't know what you expected. It's just I'm just playing as Steve Austin. I really don't know what else there is to say about this game. You just beat up referees and cops and Luigi.
I'm gonna move on before I start drop-kicking innocent people out of boredom. So now we're gonna go even further back to the Commodore 64 with WWF European Rampage Tour. That's gotta be the coolest title I've ever heard. European Rampage Tour.
Hulk Hogan, Hulkamania, and Hulkster are trademarks of Marvel Entertainment Group, Inc.
I'm sorry, what, Marvel owned the rights to Hulk Hogan? I knew he was Thanos!
WWF European Rampage Tour, featuring the Legion of Doom. This game features Hulk Hogan, you know, everyone's favorite, these things, along with Bret the Hitman Hart, Macho Man Randy Savage, The Ultimate Warrior. Oh. That's all they're showing us?
Huh. I'm interested to see the rest of the roster.
1-player tag team, 2-player tag team, or 2-player practice match.
What about singles matches? Is this just a tag team game? Why didn't it say that on the title? Well, I guess that's why it said featuring the Legion of Doom. So, if this is a tag team game, why not? I'll play as the Legion of Doom. Works out.
Oh, okay. So when the game showed Hogan, Hart, Warrior, and Savage, oh, that meant that those are the only 4 wrestlers you can play as in this tag team game, and they're all singles wrestlers.
Okay, I need to calm down. Maybe the actual game's pretty good.
So I selected Bret Hart and the Macho Man, the cream of the crop.
Cream of the crop.
Together they form the cream of the heart. No, the cream foundation. The fuck is wrong with me? So now Sean Mooney talks about this tour. Yay. And now we get ready for the team of Bret Hart and the Macho Man Randy Savage versus the Nasty Boys.
Interesting. How come I didn't see them on the character select screen?
Also, there are actual tag teams in this game, but I just can't play as them. And as for the game itself, it sucks and I hate it and I have nothing more to say.
You know, I actually think a tag team wrestling game would be pretty cool. You know, you take a whole bunch of tag teams throughout history and pin them against one another. However, the first step in making a game like that would be to include the tag teams. So we're going to move on. And when you hear the worst wrestling game, I wouldn't be surprised if Legends of Wrestling comes to mind, with Hulk Hogan front and center. This man fucking follows me everywhere, I swear. So yeah, Legends of Wrestling is not really held in such high regard, which is weird to me. Remember like 2 seconds ago when I said this? You know, I actually think a tag team wrestling game would be pretty cool. You know, you take a whole bunch of tag teams throughout history and pin them against one another. Yeah, well, Legends of Wrestling is basically the exact same concept, except it's not just tag teams, it's all wrestlers. Which, to me, sounds awesome. So, let's give it a go.
I will say that this intro is pretty sick. Legends of Wrestling, where all of your favorite wrestlers have the exact same build and the exact same face. Let's play. So now we are at the main menu with who I think is Paul Orndorff staring into your soul.
Dude, chill. I'm just trying to play some wrestling.
I selected Exhibition, and I have the option to do versus, 3-way dance, 4-way dance, tag team or arena. I'm sorry, 3-way dance and 4-way dance.
Oh, I see you, Legends of Wrestling. Are you too cool for match names like Triple Threat or Fatal 4-Way? You want to sound cool and from a different fucking era saying 3-way dance. You're not cool.
Well, I don't want to select those. They sound like I'm getting into a dance-off. I don't want to dance, I want to wrestle. So now we got a nice roster of wrestlers, but I did notice this down here, which is a thing that lets you go to another page of wrestlers, so I kind of thought this was the whole roster. It doesn't matter though. I select Bret Hart because I felt like it. I can also select the referee. Sorry Hulk, but you're being demoted to referee. Your backstage politics didn't work this time. Now I have to select my opponent. Fine, whatever. Let's give Bret Hart a match with everyone's favorite wrestler, Nikolai Volkov.
I'm sorry, were those the entrances?
I swear I did not skip any entrances or anything. Why was Bret Hart's entrance so short? Why were both entrances so awkward? What's with this announcer?
Calgary, Alberta, Canada.
And why are we in a high school gym?
Wait, I just realized the game didn't even give me an option to select my arena. Yeah, fuck you too. Also, look how long it takes for the announcer to introduce Bret Hart.
Introducing first, hailing from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, at a height of 5 feet 11 inches and weighing in at 235 pounds. The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be. He is the excellence of execution, Bret Hitman Hart.
This is weird. Why does it seem like both me and my opponent have the same moveset? Not to mention all the sounds in the game sound like stock sound effects, and it doesn't look right? Okay, so I just broke his neck. Oh, I guess I didn't. Okay, so Iron Sheik is now distracting Hulk Hogan, which means that Nikolai Volkov can... He just got himself a guitar?
Dude, if you're gonna hit me with a guitar, at least have it break. Who the fuck cares? Just... Can I just win the match already?
Wait, that's it?
So you don't have to pin your opponent in order to win? How do you fuck that up? Wait, no. 2 seconds ago, you just tried pinning me. Make up your mind, game!
Also, I'd just like to point out that for Create a Wrestler, you have the option to make a male wrestler, a female wrestler, or a legend.
Now, you guys might not know this, but I actually identify as legend, so this game is actually very inclusive. But if one Legends of Wrestling game wasn't enough, they made a second one. And it's called Legends of Wrestling 2. I mean, what else are you gonna call it? So let's see if they improved with the sequel.
Well, I'll give them this. They're 2 for 2 when it comes to the intros. Legends of Wrestling 2. Let's go. Okay, I will say that the menus look really cool and the music kind of bangs. I also find it weird that 3-way dance and 4-way dance are back, but also we can do a cage match and a ladder match. And of course I gotta do a cage match, you know what I mean? Okay, so now that I know that this next page thing is there, let's go through the starting roster. We got Hulk Hogan, Bret Hart, Scott Steiner, Andre the Giant, Roddy Piper, David Von Erich, and Michael Von Erich. Whew.
And that's just the starting roster.
With all these wrestlers here, some I've never even heard of, I'm gonna select the most basic bitch one, Hulk Hogan, because I've been pretty hard on him throughout this series. And his opponent, well, why not everyone's favorite WWE Hall of Famer, Koko B. Ware. Now to select an arena. Pretty cool, I actually get the option now. What the fuck? Mexico City? Montreal? Fiji? What about actual wrestling events?
Well, I think that was when I mentioned that the Legends of Wrestling series isn't really WWE, but like it's got a lot of wrestlers from WWE, and so it fits under WWE games more than, say, like Ring of Honor, alright? So shut up.
Good lord, this game is definitely not better. Many of the wrestlers don't have their recognizable entrance themes, everyone still seems to have similar movesets, and everyone is still built like a perfectly cut slice of pizza on the top and have little legs!
Holy shit! I was not expecting that at all.
Seriously, I did not see that coming. But that's pretty cool, an explosion of blood. What isn't cool though are these stupid fucking quick time events. Pretty much every time you get knocked down or stunned, you have to mash A to either get up or get unstunned. The problem though is, no matter how hard or how fast you mash on the A button, it goes very slow. So by the time I'm back up, my opponent knocks me the fuck over again. What the fuck? And this wouldn't be so bad if the CPU also had this bullshit, but the CPU does not have this bullshit. And mashes the A button like it's nothing, while for me, mashing the A button takes me longer than it takes me to, you know. So fuck this game, and because of this bullshit mechanic, Coco Beware just beat Hulk Hogan in a steel cage match. Wild world we live in.
Alright, I've had it with this game, and I'm going to move on because if I play anymore, I'm going to start going around German suplexing people. Want to know the crazy thing? There's a third Legends of Wrestling game that I don't have with me today, so I can't play it, so I can live to fight another day. For now. Alright, I'm almost ready to just job out here, but there is one more game that I'm going to talk about. WWE Crush Hour.
Welcome to the landscape of television now that WWE owner Mr. McMahon controls all the networks.
Oh,
Now you can see his
so do you mean the
WWE
apocalypse?
superstars. In fact, Mr. McMahon is now revving up for his most anticipated and some say dangerous debut to date. A no-holds-barred battle where the superstars trade in their muscle for muscle cars.
No, come on, no.
Welcome to Crush Hour. Thanks to our sponsor, Mr. McMahon.
Your sponsor? I thought he owned the... Whatever, dude.
Tonight, you will witness WWE superstars battling for survival behind the wheel.
I'm sorry, what did I just hear?
You will witness WWE superstars battling for survival behind the wheel.
WWE superstars battling for survival behind the wheel.
Okay, so WWE Crush Hour. Let's go. Oh man, look at these arenas. We got Raw, Hell in the Cell.
Okay, first of all, you didn't get the name right. And second of all, can you tell me how that's a Hell in a Cell?
Well, I guess the only way to find out is by selecting it. Okay, so now I get to select my wrestler, but what difference does it make? Because they're all driving around in cars. I'm gonna select The Rock because I can smell what he's cooking, but what's that smell coming from his car? There are 4 wrestlers, all in their cars, and each come out to their own entrance music to play a game of Demolition Derby. You know, I think we're done. I don't know if I can really do this anymore. I think I've had it. That's enough for me today. You know what? No. I want to know who the fuck asked for a Demolition Derby clone with WWE wrestlers? Who asked for this? Whose idea was this? Who said, man, you know, I'm a really big fan of Booker T, but I would like him way more if he was a fucking car. Now as for the game, it's Demolition Derby. Yay! You can have 3 CPUs driving around, shooting each other, and the first person to get 10 kills wins. I'm not sure if you realize this, but I want you to think about how flawed that is. You could play an entire round without dying once, but as long as someone else gets 10 kills, no matter how many times they've died, they can win.
People's champion. How'd you like that, jackass?
What the fuck?
So yeah, every time someone gets a kill, that
How'd you
happens.
like that, jackass? Shots there by The Rock. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Okay, dude, I can smell what you're cooking, alright? Just please, don't kill me.
I would also just like to point out that whenever these lines happen, the little video of the wrestler actually comes out of the little border outline thing. Seems like a weird oversight. Also, speaking of weird oversights, a massive oversight, what's going on with my car? Does anyone want to explain that one to me? Any of you 4 want to pop out and tell me what's going on with my car? What do I think about the actual game? Because all I've been talking about is a stupid-ass fucking concept. What do I think about the actual gameplay?
I'd be lying if I said I didn't have a little bit of fun here.
Yeah, I can't believe it either. WWE Crush Hour, the game that deviates from actual wrestling the most, is the most fun game in this video. I mean, don't get me wrong, this game is definitely not good. It's certainly unpolished, it doesn't look that good even for a GameCube and PS2 game, and must I remind you that while playing this game, I couldn't help but wonder,
who is this game for? But even though I have no idea who would want to play this game, I had a little bit of fun with it. So I guess the answer is me. I would want to play this. Except, not really, because honestly, I don't think I ever want to play a wrestling game with wrestlers not wrestling. The wrestling game. But as a whole, without question, Vince McMahon officially endorsing these games and allowing his company to be associated with them has gotta be the second worst thing he has ever done. And these games did it. They did it to me. Because I'm about to show you a side of me that you've never seen before. That's right. I've been a babyface this whole time. But now, I'm about to turn heel. Yup. Say goodbye to DPX Solo. And hello to Heel PX Solo. Just you wait. You're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Just you fucking wait. For not subscribing and liking the video, you just made the list.